How's everybody doing? This is Beard Wolf, and I'm here today with Dark Souls. This is a New Game Plus playthrough. Now, this was supposed to be just regular video here, but I had my microphone turned off for the first 4 recordings, so I'm just going to go through and do a sort of after commentary of the highlights of the 4 videos I already have recorded. So let's get right into it. Alright, that would be me just loading in, wearing the Mask of the Child, using Gravelord Sword, Great Shield of Artorias, and Smog's Armor. This is the starting dungeon, nothing too impressive here. Let's go ahead and just skip on to the boss fight of the area. Alright, this will be the Asylum Demon. Now here I was actually looking around trying to see if I could shoot with my bow beforehand. I didn't realize how high up it was, so I didn't see it. I thought it was just on that ledge up there, but it's higher than that. That's a message I left for later. So yeah, this boss fight was certainly not too hard. Then again, it's not too hard in the start of the game either. You just gotta not get hit, basically, which applies throughout the entire game, really. Just I deal way more damage now, so it lasts a lot less time. Still takes out a good chunk of my HP if it hits me, though. As always, best way to deal with the demons like this is just walk behind them and stab them in the rear. Which got me the demon's great hammer. Alright, that should be it for the asylum. Let's move on. Alright, that's actually not it for the asylum. Next we have the encounter with the Astoran Knight. Or Knight of Astora, whatever he is. Wall. Walk up. See boulder. Dodge boulder. Take fall damage. Look up that way. Then you go in and talk to the... Go check what those say at first.
Oh, you. You're no
See what he has to say.
Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
I say yes.
I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this.
I found this part kind of...
Now I must
Oh
bid
wait, no, he
farewell.
doesn't give you... Yeah.
I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Alright, then that's just it for this area. Now all that's left is to leave. Alright. We just go in through the door with the big pilgrim's key we got from the Asylum Demon. Walk on out. Over there is the trader Snuggly, who you can trade items with in an annoying way. You have to drop things off and then reload the area, which basically means suicide. But you get some good stuff from it too. And this is modded. I've got a retexture of the sword I'm using and a few other things like high resolution textures and all that.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Always love this cutscene.
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
I always loved that the land of the ancient lords is basically called Lord Ran. That's not how it's pronounced, but now that you heard that, you'll never be able to say it a different way in your head when you read it. Alright, so Firelink Shrine. Now from here, normally you head over to the Undead Burg and all that. I did the opposite. Well, not the opposite. Yes, the opposite, actually. Actually, no, the opposite would be, down. First, refill my Estus. Then, next I went to the Catacombs to fight Pinwheel, so let's go see that. Forgot about this part. This guy was not here on the first time I came to the Catacombs, and I don't know why that was.
Good day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the catacombs? You're cleric or something.
Gotta say no.
I know what it is. You've come for the trinkets, haven't you? Well, whatever it is, this place is treacherous. You watch your step.
Alright, next is just me on my way to fight Pinwheel after I fight a Titanite Demon, I think it is. Yeah. So here I just do battle with the Titanite Demon. This battle is kind of slower than most, but that's because it is a mini-boss. Or a sub-boss, whatever it's called in this one. I always hate when they leapfrog back. I'm always worried as to how they're going to set up a grab attack. Which just goes straight through a shield. So yeah, Titanite Demons aren't actually all that hard. All you have to do is get to the spot behind either their leg or their arm. The spot behind their arm with their missing leg is actually the easiest to get to. Keep a shield up to block stuff like that, and you can just wail on them. And really, if you time it right, when they jump up, you can just walk forward and slightly to the right, and you'll end up behind the arm that you want to end up behind to strike them, which is so useful. Usually, if you got a slow weapon like a greatsword, or in this case, what I'm using a curved greatsword, you definitely want to go for single strikes in a set, maximum of 2, unless you're right about to finish it off. Then go for the third. Of course, go for the third if you think he'll fit within the safe spot to do it. And of course here I'm using the Sunlight Maggot because you can't see in the dark. Miss the swing there. He jumps. I walk around him. It's almost dead too, so this actually went much faster than I originally thought it would when I started the fight. Still takes a while though. Get in a free hit while I'm there, and then finish him off. Alright, now next part should just be my fight with Pinwheel. Yep, next part is just the fight with Pinwheel. I have Paladin Leroy just because I'm not sure if he spawns in later in the game or not, unless you summon him the first time. He's fine if you want to clear out the bone wheels that are outside Pinwheel's area, but really you don't need him because Pinwheel is a super weak boss, which is a shame because with enough health, with a lot more health, he probably would have been way cool boss fight. Or maybe not more health, maybe just like make his fireballs do way more damage. Almost like a one-shot kind of thing, like you can kill him in a few hits, but he can kill you in one. Especially with his summoning ability. He's the only one that can really make more of himself as time goes on. I mean, his fire attacks still do a decent bit of damage, but that's not gonna kill most anyone. And I actually have pretty poor fire resistance, if I remember correctly. But yeah, if they just made him hit way harder, or gave him a ton of health so you couldn't kill him in a couple of hits, it would make this boss fight one of the best in the game. That, of course, is how you get the Rite of Kindling. That's how I got the another Mask of the Mother. And with that, so that should be it for this section. Let's go find what's next. I think the only thing of note that's next would be my battle with the Taurus Demon. What's next is a battle with another mini-boss. In this case, it would be a Black Knight, the one wielding the axe. Of course, even this one can't really do too much to me. What's good about Dark Souls is the combat itself is fun, so even when you're really powerful and kind of easily able to beat an enemy, it's still pretty fun.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town.
Light Town.
Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right?
I hate the
Not
place so
at
much.
all, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Alright, that should be it for this one. Right down here you have the, what was he called again? The Undead Merchant, I think he just is? Or is it just the Undead Merchant male? Because there's the... I think so, I don't think he has any special name or anything like that.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
Of course, from him you buy the repair powder, the residence key, repair box, all that kind of stuff. Alright, yeah, so after this it should just be straight to the Taurus Demon. It is not straight to the Taurus Demon. There's one more mini-boss right between this and there, and that is the Stone Knight Havel. Who, honestly, right there would be a good spot to die if he had managed to get the drop attack on me. Yeah, he's honestly not too much of a hard fight. He just takes a while because you gotta be slow with him. So long as you... If it's your first playthrough, you definitely want to avoid his hits because he does a lot of stamina to... takes a lot of stamina with those hits on an early character, but a New Game Plus, you should just be able to stand there and take them if you got a build like mine. Just got the brief fight with him. Not too long because he's got he doesn't have too much health. Take his ring, and that just leaves us with the Taurus Demon, after I open that door. Alright, here's the fight with the Taurus Demon. Second actual boss you're supposed to face in the game, though third I fought. Switch the coveted Silver Serpent ring, because I need the souls. I just like this boss fight because he always manages to knock me back, and there's a lot of places he can just knock you right off the edge with a single attack and send you to your death instantly. But he doesn't stand too much of a chance here. Fight takes a while, less because he can actually take too many hits, because he can only get so many off due to the way his combo, his attacks kind of go so close together. And I could probably get way more hits in, but I play cautiously, and I still think it's kind of bull that his slime attack like that just tracks you completely. And that is the Taurus Demon fight. Next up should just be a mini boss against a boar, I think. Alright. This takes a little while just because the things are big and take a good bit of damage to kill. And I have to deal with those guys coming up behind me. And stuff like that happens. Yeah, to do any really damage, you gotta go for thrusting attacks with these guys. And it's best to hit them from behind where there's little armor. Also where you're less likely to get hit. Because no giant metal tusks on the back. And they do have a kick attack, but they do that very little. Of course, you don't really have to hit them around the back. I just think that's a safe place to attack from. Alright. Next up should be the sub-boss in the cathedral. Alright, I was wrong. Next up is the Titanite demon that's near the blacksmith in the area. Nowhere near as strong as the one I had fought previously, but that's not really saying much. This one's just the same tactic, only difference is I just do a good about 100, not about 100, I was doing a 199 I think to the other guy. He's doing 252, so it's a good bit more damage, but not a ton more. But two, he does hit a lot softer than the other one does, so if I mess up it's not as lethal. You just use the same tactic on all of them, though you gotta be aware of your surroundings too, because some of them are on really annoying spots to fight them like this. Yeah, so this one you basically just gotta... Same with the last one, you just gotta keep hitting them while staying in the safe zone. Well, for this build. If you use a different type of build than me, then yeah, you'll have a different tactic. Like, mages will definitely want to stay farther away. Hey, I got the catch pole from that one. I forgot about that. Alright, next should be the mini boss I was talking about. Alright. Yeah, that guy. The big guy. There's a name for this one, I just can't remember it. For this one, it's definitely a good idea to just lure them outside. Gives you more room to maneuver around in a much clearer space. And nope to the healing. Finish them off. Alright, so here I just head along and head on up to take out the channeler that's up there so the second sub-boss of the area. First you have one of the Balder Knights. And that's the sound of the Chandler casting his spells. Dead 2 hits, but I almost died from getting hit once by the hollows that are powered up. Alright, then after that, I went to pick up an item. Next is me talking to a guy, so let's go do that.
Stuck with...
Jump through the door. And here you go.
Oh, still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
I already have the mystery key, so I just talked to him.
Yes, sincerely. I am Knight Lautrec of Karim. I truly appreciate this. And I guarantee a reward. Only later.
Alright, next up is the fight with the Bell Gargoyles. So, for this fight I summoned Knight Lautrec and Knight Solaire, just because I was trying to cut off the gargoyle's tail again, so I could sell the item for souls later. That didn't work out, so I just go beat my way through the fight, because those two plus my fairly powerful character was a bit much. Got overconfident there and tried to switch a ring mid-fight to try and get the helmet and the shield. As you can see, the getting the tail didn't work out. Fight went well. Got some Estus Flask, got the Anemones, the Sun Metal. Right, next up will be just ringing the Bell of Awakening, and that should be it for these videos. Part 5 will come next. Alright, you gotta climb up. I can just see someone like running along trying to hurry and not realizing there's a ledge there and just running straight off. It would be hilarious. Right. Ringing the Bell of Awakening. Just point out, if you actually stood under a belt like this close, you would probably do some severe damage to your hearing, and the vibrations would probably mess with you a little too. So that was the Bell of Awakening. Next, in part 5, I should be headed out to take on the Moonlight Butterfly boss. So yeah, that will be an actual video with live commentary, not this kind of thing. So, like if you like this, comment if you got something to say, subscribe if you want some more, share the video if you can, and I will see you all next time in Dark Souls New Game Plus.